A lot of people think of language as arbitrary. I wonder if that's true. I wonder if language didn't evolve from the same laws that trees came out of the mud via. Like, could there be some way of studying the evolution of language in a natural way? And if that's true, then just like you could understand scientists, they don't have the universe under their microscopes or in their telescopes. Like they still have their finite perspective, but they're able to understand the whole picture because their little microcosm tells them about the whole picture. And so if the Bible is not an arbitrary human construction, but actually bloomed out of nature like a tree does, then can we understand reality through studying the Bible? And I wonder if the Bible is uniquely organic compared to other human texts. Maybe some language is arbitrary. Maybe there's a spectrum. Maybe there's language that emanates from nature in a more pure form. There's so many metaphors of like reaping and sowing or seed in the Bible. If the Bible is something that grew out of nature, then what is the seed and what is the fruit? Like this quandary of like, how could the Bible create reality was actually an ancient quandary that people had been studying for millennia. And yeah, the numerical dimension of the Bible specifically gives it a technical handle, right? Because language, it's hard to nail it down. But with numbers, you can get technical. And so when I found out that there was a ancient, everything is relationship, right? If we were to say the Bible generates reality, to answer the question of what is reality, it's relationship, it's ratio, right? It's like you hear people say like everything is energy, right? But energy is also just relationship. Energy is like a difference between two things where work can be done, like a gradient or something like that. I don't understand how there could be anything more eternal than these basic ratios. I don't think it's ordinal either. I don't think it's like it starts with one and climbs up to infinity. I think that's a very Western perspective. I think it's that it is already all the numbers as one. And then you can start to divide in various ways. I have a ton of evidence that the decimal expansion of pi is the closest analogy would be like the genome of the tree of life. Like reality has the ability to generate this massive world just from a little seed. It's a little algorithm. So you could take like, I don't know how many digits it is. It's like a 20-digit number. You throw that number into the algorithm and you can just over and over again get these massive worlds. And so pi, like this is super abstract because we obviously like discovered the decimal expansion of pi in our human timeline. But really, no matter which way the universe would have evolved, right? If there was an intelligent enough civilization, there would have been a base 10 system. Now, that's another place where people go, oh, that's arbitrary. There can be different bases, right? But that doesn't change the fact that base 10 is one of them. And it's an early one. It's not base 1,025,000, right? It's fairly close to one. So if there's an advanced civilization that has base 10 and analyzes the relationship between the diameter of a circle and the circumference, they will come to this number 3.14159265. And by like reverse engineering Hebrew gematria to analyze the decimal expansion, right, relating parts of the decimal expansion to the Bible, the first three digits are 141. If you look into the Torah, what is the first time that 141 shows up? It's in Genesis 1:12 in the word leminehu. So those letters, lamed, mem, yod, nun, vav, hey, if you add them up together, it equals 141. Okay, so if this system is like the seed of the universe, right, then leminehu would be like really important because it's how this sequence is starting. First occurrences are important. So I look at the first time 141 shows up in the Bible. The first time it shows up in the Bible is Genesis 1:12 in the word leminehu. Now the word leminehu means after its kind. So that word in that context is referring directly to heredity. It's referring directly to how seed produces after its kind. So if you wanted pi to right off the bat tell you about its nature, it couldn't be more concise than to say leminehu, basically saying that like what you're seeing is a place in a pattern. Everything leading up to this point and everything coming after this point follows this pattern. Looking at that same first 4 digits, right?